day we make choices. Every day we choose something different. But today we're choosing ourselves. Welcome to Smell the Coffee on this beautiful Tuesday morning. You're joined as usual by Dinah Master and Aina Raisa Kwayo.
I like your dress. Actually, I like these ruffles.
Oh, thanks.
It's giving
drama.
Yes. Love it. It's giving, you know, what
opulence
it's meant to give. Wow, okay.
Thank you.
Wow, you look so fashion forward.
Oh, thanks, girl.
Love
Thank
it
you.
for you.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I said my energies are going to be high every now and then. Okay, not every now and then, every day.
Yeah.
Because it's just where I am in life. That's where I want to go. I don't want to be distracted by anything. So I'm just speaking positivity into existence. I am blessed.
You're choosing yourself.
I'm choosing myself.
You're choosing happiness.
On this Tuesday.
You're choosing happiness.
The prophets and the prophetess will always say, how are you? I'm very blessed.
I'm very blessed.
I'm very blessed. Highly favored.
Highly favored. Exactly. I am blessed and I am
chosen.
Chosen, the
anointed.
Chosen one. Of course. I think it's important to speak these things into existence
yes.
because a lot of the times we don't actually realize what we're doing. Even songs. Now I'm very cautious about what I sing.
That's why I don't listen to music.
You're right. You're right.
Because when you speak, you are speaking into your life.
You are there talking about, oh, there's no money and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're surprised
when you say,
I'm
broke and I live, I struggle and I hustle, you will really be.
And hustle.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I don't listen to music, bruh. I don't be
you
speaking anything.
You must be very careful about these songs that you're listening to because you're speaking subconsciously these things into existence.
And some of these things, some of these songs, you don't know how they are made.
Exactly.
Some of them, you are literally casting spells on your life. Yes. So, not to scare you, but just be careful.
Be careful.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll be right back getting into our top stories, starting with someone who should have been extra careful. Stick around.
Yeah.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhcomm.na.
Getting right into it, Margaret Nduta Macharia's fate hangs in the balance. The 37-year-old Kenyan, sentenced to death for drug trafficking, has spent the past few hours in uncertainty, either waiting for her execution or holding on to the slim hope that diplomatic efforts will secure her a last-minute reprieve. For days, leaders, family members, and activists have waged a desperate battle to hold their execution, even urging President William Ruto to intervene directly. Diplomatic calls and emotional public appeals have all played out as the countdown to her execution reaches its final hours. Nduta, a resident of Kiharu, Muranga County, was sentenced to death in Vietnam after she was arrested in July 2023 at Ho Chi Minh City Airport with more than 2 kgs of cocaine hidden in a suitcase. She claimed that she was unaware of the drugs, having been handed the bag by her agent. With execution imminent, Kenyan officials have been scrambling to make contact with Vietnamese authorities amid intense public pleas and pressure. Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Corey Singwe confirmed that Kenya had engaged Vietnam on the case, asking for a day of execution. I had a telephone conversation this afternoon with my counterpart, His Excellency Nguyen Minh Hang, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam, over the matter of Margaret Nduta. I conveyed to Madame Hang the anxiety of the Kenyan people on the impending execution of our national and reiterated our request for a stay of execution to allow our two countries to find a path to resolving the issue. Now, he added that Kenya's diplomatic mission in Bangkok, which oversees Vietnam, was actively following up on the case. Now, for a brief background into the story, this woman was allegedly offered a job. And then, you know, after a while, the agent eventually called her back and said, okay, now you have the job. And then apparently when she went to meet this agent at a mall, she went with her bag, and the agent was like, no, that bag is too small, so we need to get you a new bag. And then it was in this bag that the drugs were.
You need to check your bags.
You need to
At
check your
the
bags.
airport, you need to check your lungs. You need to check.
Not your lungs.
You must check everything. Your hair.
Everything. You know, I'm so
your
paranoid.
book. Check. Airports are so dangerous.
I am so paranoid because you never know. What if they just stop you and they're like, hi, come this way. And you don't even know. At the airport, never, ever, ever agree to carrying someone else's bag. Never ever do that. If someone says, oh, please just look after my bag, say no.
Apparently
Run.
now they even have fake babies stuffed with drugs.
You see
and
now.
then they come, oh, can you please hold my baby?
No.
Do not hold
No.
anyone's baby. At the airport,
No.
don't engage.
And
Just
with
say
this
hi
one,
and bye.
The cocaine was hidden under, so it wasn't like in the bag where she could see. It was like
Shame.
under.
Oh, shame,
careful.
man. Shame, shame, shame. But I think death sentence,
Death sentence.
is too extreme.
It's very extreme.
For drugs,
Imagine
it's too
being
extreme.
sentenced to death in a foreign country.
Just extradite her.
And
Take
let
her,
her have
go
the
to
punishment.
Kenya
Exactly.
and let her have the punishment, life imprisonment maybe in Kenya.
Or whatever it
Your
is.
death sentence a bit cruel, but okay. Nonetheless, let's move over to some news related to death. A Bulgarian football club has apologized for holding a minute of silence for a former player who is still alive at Kazali, which is located in the southern Bulgarian town of Kazali, and play in the country's top division, held the minutes of silence in honor of Petko Ganchev before Sunday's game against Levski Sofia. But before the match was over, ADA posted on their Facebook page saying they had received the wrong information about Ganchev's death. The club said the management of PFC ADA would like to express a huge apology to the former ADA player Petko Ganchev and his relatives after the club received wrong information about his death. We wish Petko Ganchev many more years of good health and to enjoy the success of ADA. On Monday, it appeared the post about his death had been deleted. This is why you must never be in a hurry to post people when they die. Relax.
Breathe.
Take your time. Maybe post after 2 days, or people can resurrect.
Yeah, people can resurrect. How many times have we reported on resurrections here in
So
STC?
just be careful. Don't be in a hurry of breaking people's death news.
It's giving. If you want to talk to me direct. Don't go through the corners. Are you guys wishing for my death?
Or what?
Or what khanan? Because what do you mean a minute of silence? Imagine you're even watching the game and you hear a minute of silence for Aina, and you're like,
And you know, I'm assuming the guest would have been crying tears of blood, or the football lovers rather, because this is somebody whom they love.
Exactly.
I mean, if you hear your hero has died, you're going to be devastated just for you to find out this is not true. So now you've wasted tears. Imagine.
And I don't
emotional
like that.
distress.
No, emotional distress. This is why I say, if you're going to die, stay dead. Because I cannot go through that pain again. Imagine these football fans when they have to hear this news when it eventually happens.
Yeah.
No, guys, that's just cruel.
It's a
Do
bit
your
too
due
much.
diligence.
Yeah. Speaking of football, I love this show. It's so in sync. Speaking of football, we had a chat with Tutu Mungoba. Tutu is the filmmaker of a documentary called Beyond the Goalpost, an all-female football documentary. You're absolutely gonna love it. It launches tomorrow, the 19th of March. Joining us this morning on Smell the Coffee is Tutu Mongoba. She is a content strategist and a filmmaker. We will be talking about a documentary which is called Beyond the Goalpost. How are you?
I am super happy, always to come through, always happy to be here, always to see the young ones in front and behind the scenes.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it for you guys.
Thank you.
It's a stellar job that you guys are doing here, not only promoting local content, but it's nice to see young people, make room for that local content.
Thank you so much.
I'm always happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
What inspired the documentary and what message do you convey to the audience?
Firstly, Beyond the Goalpost really talks about a story of resilience, overcoming adversity, but then also promoting women's football in Namibia.
Nice.
We know that it's sports sector, or part of the sports sector, that is not really much talked about, because there's also a lot of up and down in the sport, in the NFA, or not really in the NFA, but really with regards to the administration of soccer. So holistically, so you can already see women's soccer is at the bottom of the priority list. So so we just wanted to highlight women in soccer, what they go through, tell their remarkable stories. But it goes beyond just the soccer pitch.
Nice.
That's why it's called Beyond the Goalpost.
Okay.
As you know, and every time we have this conversation, I say that most of my work really comes from a data research-based point of view before we even start shooting. So I spent about 2 months with the ladies of the Eros Football Club before I started shooting, and also before we actually started casting. Just to get to know about sports, soccer, and all the things that I expected from the soccer players, so that it would make it easier for me while I was formatting my story. So that's what it's about.
Method actor.
Yes. And documentary is the most difficult to cast. Because your story is based on actual characters. So how do you tell the cast story without and portray them in the proper light? So yeah.
So what themes do you then explore in this documentary?
Stigma in the soccer fraternity.
Nice.
We look at really unemployment amongst young people. With the issue of gender disparities are also mentioned. The issue of financial endorsements of women in soccer. But really just underlining is really a story of resilience. Because to be a sportsman or to be a sportswoman requires a lot of discipline. These ladies wake up at 5 a.m. almost every day without fail to go to the training field. Some of them come as far as Okahanja Park, deep in Koreangap Dam, that vicinity of Koreangap Dam as well. So it really looks at how you still have to maintain your own ambitions, as in trying to go to school, trying to go to work, trying to be a mother, trying to be a sister, trying to be a supporting member of society, yet still wanting to push and live your dream of wanting to be an national and international sportswoman.
I cannot imagine.
So you also know that it's just like pageantry. It's a whole lot of work. You need to make sure that you have.
You just don't wake up and become.
It's work. It's years of work in the making. We have some of the players that we casted who were about 26, but they've been playing since they were 8. So then you look at, where's this person been playing? So one of our players comes from the coast. So she's been playing since she's 8. So she was bought by the team probably when she turned 22. So you can imagine this person had to leave their home at the coast and then relocate to Windhoek.
Just to chase this
dream. To play soccer.
What are some of the challenging factors that you have encountered, or issues rather, from creating the documentary up until to the final stage of it?
Yeah, ne? What they always teach us at film school, budget.
Budget,
Budget.
money.
I thought I was going to be done like in 2 months.
Yeah.
But we shot over a period of 6 to 8 months.
Yo.
Yes. So we went over budget. Many of people, I think my lecturers will not even be happy to hear that. But then came the opportunity. With every challenge, there's always an opportunity. There came the challenge of me as myself as Tutu Creative Concepts, buying equity or having equity in the production. So what my client wasn't paying for,
You had
then
to
I
pay.
then realigned then to make these resources available. But then it would come then from my part of the entity, and then we would join financial forces. So it became a joint venture in the end.
Okay.
Apart from it just being an Arrows Football Club entity, now it belongs to 2 entities.
Okay.
So that's the opportunity that comes with it. Of course, the story took a different life of its own, with one of the cast members that we initially casted, and then we had to recast because of the player fell pregnant.
Oh.
So then now you have to now look for somebody else that has a very trying and captivating story to tell,
Yeah.
as well. But then that was also integrated also into the documentary as well. Many people in influential positions don't really want to talk about what's happening in the sports fraternity. So we had a lot of people turning us down to be interviewed.
Yeah. People are scared of the camera. I don't know why.
People are scared of the camera. Plus, also people don't really want to talk about what is happening in the sports fraternity.
Yeah.
Administration really needs to be held accountable. So people don't really want to talk about how we should keep our principals and gatekeepers accountable for the task that is at hand with promoting the sports sector, especially soccer.
Yeah.
So that also came. So we had to beg and plead for people just to be interviewed. In the end, they didn't get interviewed for the documentary. Yeah. So then you ask then, where is the other voice?
Yes.
Because they say you
You
always
need
need to
a
have a
balanced
balanced,
story.
you need a balanced story. So in the end, finding the other end of the story was like pulling teeth. And it was very, 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 very stressful.
Yeah.
And then of course, when you're doing a soccer or sports documentary, it's quite fast, and you need a lot of overlays, a lot of B-roll. So we had to shoot from the locker room to practice runs to being with the cast in their private setting. So this is also one of the reasons why I said the story really took a life of its own.
Yeah. So let's talk about the casting process. You mentioned that one cast member fell pregnant and so forth and so on. But let's go back to the drawing board from the beginning. How do you cast? Do you call for auditions? Do you identify, soccer players that, hey, I like your story, come on board? How do you go about it?
With Beyond the Goalpost, management, which was also the team manager, Munashe Jinyama, and also Coach Eto, they work hand in hand with the girls. So knowing what the girls' personas, but then also knowing the stories we wanted to tell. So you need a character who is up and about and whimsical and funny.
Yeah.
You need a character that has a very strong but quiet personality. You need a character that really has overcome adversity. You need a character that really represents of the endurance of what a sportswoman is today.
Yeah.
So based on some of those characteristics, that's how the casting was chosen as well. Some of them took a while to get out of their shells.
Yeah.
So this is why you always have to, get used to, your cast, your character, your protagonist must first get used to you.
Did you have
Yes.
an acting coach on
Nothing
set?
like that, because with documentary,
It's just like your real life,
Yes,
your
it's
real
it's your
story.
real life. Of course, obviously, you give them a set of questions
Yeah.
to say, okay, look, I'll be asking you about this. We'll be going to your home. We'll be getting to meet your family members, or not even meet your family members. So you can prepare on this set of things that I'm looking for from you.
Yeah.
But then you throw like a curveball to see actually when you ask them about, okay, where would you have been if you were not playing soccer? I know many of the people have the notion that women who play soccer play for the other team. So of course the gender issue comes in, and the stigma is like, oh, okay, you're a woman trying to be a man, you know. So then you would ask, okay, so we actually have a game that we featured in the documentary where you have the women play against men in an actual match. And then of course people are saying, okay, no, you know, these people think that they have the same durability, the same endurance, the same stamina as men. But then you flip the script, you know, you have men who are coming out to support women as well. So when you do a documentary, you really want to tell the stories, but captivate the audience the same way you would do in a movie.
Okay, so what do you hope the audience take away from this documentary? What is your impact?
Impact really equates to positioning. You really want to tell a story. You really want to bring to light and highlight the issues that female soccer players are facing in the country. But then it's also a point to pivot where parents, guardians can really look at women's soccer, women's football as an option for their children. I think also a lot of people don't understand the administration that goes into managing a soccer team. It's like a business. There are bills that need to be paid, soccer kits that need to be bought, medical bills that need to be addressed. So we also wanted to highlight that. I mean, of course, the challenge was also for myself. I know nothing about soccer or sports.
You had to learn.
I didn't even get so far. I only know what the goalkeeper does and everybody else, and what an offside is, and left wing and right wing and forward and mid. Like, so I'll be shooting and people are cheering on and the stands are moving and me, I'm just like, yes, I'm really not.
You are just looking at the camera.
I'm just here for the story.
Yes.
I'm not, So, and of course for me to learn really about telling a different type of story, but an impactful one. I think that's where the challenge comes in. As storytellers and people who narrate the lives of Namibians and people abroad, we really want just to challenge ourselves. And I think with this particular documentary, I have gained a new family, which it's always like that when you're working with people. You get to learn so much about other people, and it really just opens your mental horizons as to what people are really going through. Because everything looks like glitz and glamour,
and it's not always.
And it's not. So I've really walked away with a lot.
Finally, where is it premiering? Where can we watch it? When is a screening? All these details.
So we're happy to announce that the NFA has really endorsed the venue, which is going to be the Katutura, the Katutura office, the NFA house in Katutura, which is close to the Grootwinkels. We don't say the big shops, we say the Grootwinkels, which is just close to Katutura Magistrate Court. So we start off at 18:30, which is 6:30. I must mention that we have a gate fare or tickets that we're selling at the door for $30, but this money goes towards the purchasing of toiletry kits and sanitary pads for female soccer players. So you're also coming to support a good deed as well. I encourage people to follow myself, Otilia Tutumungoba, on Instagram, X,
all
Facebook.
platforms.
I'm just under that name. But then also to follow the Arrows Ladies Football Club social pages. So people also have preview to behind the scenes reels to the short interviews that we did as well. So we're super excited to share. Besides that, we will then also be having screenings across the country. So we intend for the documentary to travel with the soccer team.
Awesome. And this is premiering on the
19th of March. Yes, at 6:30. Proper time, not Katutura time. Yes, we invite one and all to come through
Yeah.
and really just learn something new. But then also for people in the sector, in the fraternity, but then also people who are sports lovers.
Yeah.
But also you find people that are really just about stories and watching documentaries. This is a great platform for them to watch a different type of story.
All right, Tutu, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
We
me.
wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. We will be right back. Stick around.
And that's a wrap for today's show. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place.